Welcome to This Week in Real Estate with Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale, your local experts on all things real estate in Middle Tennessee. Listen in as they discuss the current state of the market, the latest trends, and have a little fun while doing it. We do want to say the opinions voiced on this podcast are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individuals. All right, everybody, welcome back to This Week in Real Estate with Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale, where we're taking you from a zero to a community hero. Oh, unmute. There you go.
Unmute. We're unmuted. It felt like there for a minute I had a little PTSD flashback to 2020 being on Zoom calls. You're on mute. You're on mute. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Hey, man.
What's up?
You know, I felt like hot garbage last week, so I don't even remember. Did we do a show last week?
Yeah.
We did? Was it good?
It's one of the best.
Was it?
One of the best.
Okay, maybe I should be sick more often. Trent, I'm noticing a pile of kids' books over there. You got one on the way, or what's going on here, buddy?
No, those are from a guy doing a show, Hari Pacheco. Shout out to Hari. He does anti-bullying books.
Oh.
They're really awesome.
I should probably read those. I'm kind of a bully
I
sometimes.
noticed that one of the headlines is Cyrus the Cyber Bully.
Yeah, we got Stanley No Stripes. He took a while to get his stripes, so...
I assume he's like a tiger or something?
Yeah, he is a tiger.
Oh, okay.
I wish I was on camera. Cyrus the Cyber Bully and Willie's Wheelchair. It's pretty cool stuff. Shout out to Hari, man. He's killing it with Open Book with Hari Pacheco.
All right. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Love it. It's good stuff.
Yep.
So, man, this show's going to be a little bit scattered. We got a couple of different things planned. So I'm hoping that you have the plan in your head, because I don't right now.
I have a general outline.
Okay, great. Well, what do we need to start with?
Let's start with market movers and headlines.
Okay.
Back to you.
So I'm looking at my phone here because I'm watching this reel that I saw yesterday, and social media is all over the place, right? For anybody, if you're in the real estate profession, if you're a realtor or mortgage lender, your social media, you can ignore it and it can not be part of your business, or you can kind of lean into it. And I've found industry professionals, from mortgage lenders to realtors from across the country that I follow, just because they're funny. And this girl yesterday, she's posting, she's talking about AI, and she's saying, hey, maybe real estate's the next business that AI is going to come over and take over. And maybe I am going to be the next industry that's gobbled up by this. But one thing I know is that AI is not going to be real with you. AI is not going to be super mean to you. Like, if you're looking at this house and you're thinking that, hey, this room would be perfect for a home gym, and AI is not going to look at you and say, are you really going to start working out?
So true.
She's just got a bunch of content like that. And I'll give her a shout out. It's Realtor Caitlin is the girl, and it's Realtor Kaitlin. She's hilarious. But no, I was going to talk about headlines a little bit, and we have ticked over to September 4th.
Yeah.
So September 4th.
Something special happened on that day.
Yeah, today's my 20th anniversary.
Yeah. Shout out to Erica for putting up with this guy for 20 years. Is she? I'm assuming she's highly medicated.
No, she's.
I would need to be.
Yeah, you would, but you don't have her. You don't have her loving and forgiving personality.
That is so true. That is so true. And she definitely has to have that to spend 20 years with this guy.
She always talks about how patient her dad is, and I think she got a lot of that from him. Because she always joked about how her dad had to put up with her mom. And
that's funny.
And the patience he had with her and her brother and everything. And I'm glad she inherited some of his patience. That's awesome. So the other thing that's kind of cool about this day is that, most of last month you kept hearing mortgage rates are at 10-month lows. That was because in early August we got some jobs information that caused rates to start to fall. But it was 10-month lows because on October 3rd of last year we had some economic data that came out that caused rates to spike. And so I just got a little bit of data here. October 4th of 2024 jobs report caused uncommonly large rate spike in the 30-year fixed rate. And so that kicked off a rising rate environment from October 4th last year. Rates rose from the low sixes to the mid sixes in a single day, and then that trend continued with 30-year fixed rates moving over 7.25 in January. And so those highs were temporary. That didn't continue since then. Since January, rates have started to come back down, but it's been a slow walk down until August when there was a bigger move. And then later in August, there was another day where there was a bigger move down. So now, because it's September 4th, we're able to say 11-month lows instead of 10-month lows.
Is there a seasonality to interest rates? And hear me out on this. What you just outlined, as I was drawing the graph in my head, it looked like gas prices, right? And gas prices tend to do that. They'll spike way up and then they'll slow walk down. Yeah. But there's a seasonality to it, right? Travel seasons, things like that.
I would imagine that you could probably lay out a graph of interest rates over any number of different economic factors. And so, like, if you think of employment, and employment might typically spike around the holidays. So if people were hiring to staff up for a busy holiday season in November, then as the numbers come out in December, you might start to see less unemployment or higher payroll.
But isn't that temporary employment like that? Isn't that factored out of jobs reports?
I don't know.
I thought it was. I thought it was somehow adjusted.
That's a great question. If somebody in the comments can chime in on that, let us know, because I don't know that off the top of my head.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have another little theory, and that is that, when rates were, let's say 2018 all the way through 21 or so, maybe even 2017, but when rates were, 4.5 or lower, right? When they were just kind of fluctuating in that, I feel like, and this is a guy that at that point, had been in the real estate industry for 10 years, and now I'm at 16 years, whatever, and I feel like I pay more attention now to rates than I ever did before, and I feel like when they were low, sub 4.5, nobody really paid attention to rates,
right?
I mean, maybe a little bit, right? Maybe you try to time it a little bit for someone and say...
I will say that I think the market, our customers are a lot more sensitive to rate and a lot more aware of rate. We see more people go into online sources to read about interest rates, to get online quotes. And so we're seeing a lot more rate shopping in the industry than we have. But yeah, if it was going to be between 3 1/4 and 3 1/8 or 3 1/3, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, and even if it went from 3 1/8 to 3.75 or even 4, right? That's a big jump, rate wise.
It
right?
is, yeah.
But the reality is, because that first number is a 3, it doesn't really impact your affordability nearly as much as going from the same amount, say 6.5 to 7 1/4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it moves 3/4 of a point now, because that first number is a 6 or a 7, it feels. It hurts more.
I'll say back
to
your original question. I don't think that there's a seasonality to interest rates, because when you're talking about someone who's, and we know that the average mortgage isn't held for 30 years because they track the 10-year Treasury bond, but you're still talking about longer term stuff here. So you're talking about longer term investments where you've got people who are buying mortgage-backed securities. These investors are looking for where they're going to get the best return for the level of risk that they're willing to take. And I don't think that you're making those kinds of longer term bets based on if it's the summer and there's more people buying houses now.
Except, that's true, except that there is a supply and demand component to it. So it is still a marketable asset, right? It is still something, we're selling money is what it amounts to, and you still have to resell. Most mortgage lenders will resell that paper at some point. So if you have a huge influx of people from May through July 15th or whatever, right? Like you have the seasonal push that we pretty much always have. It was a little weird this year, but we pretty much always have. Your demand for mortgages goes way up. Right. And so we can plot out the seasonality of home sales pretty easily, and it's pretty consistent.
Well, it's consistent except for that 4-year period from like 2019.
Correct.
And then
but even there was still some seasonality to it. It wasn't until our starting point was up here.
It wasn't until you got into 2020 around like April, May, or June where you really said seasonality doesn't matter. It's just hot. And it was like that for two and a half years.
And that's true, but in hindsight, when we go back and look, it still follows the curve.
Yeah.
Now it starts way higher.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter too much. It was hot the whole time, but there was still more activity when there should have been more activity, and less activity when there should have been less. Now the less activity was more than the more activity this year, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The lows there were higher than our
highs now. But it still followed the curve
of transactions. Mm-hmm. I don't know that rates follow that. I've not seen or read or heard anything that would support that. Rates are seasonal.
I'm just curious.
So without having, I can look into that and we can talk about it a little bit in 2 weeks when we get back. Yeah, we're off good. Next week, by the way.
Off next week. Why are we off next week?
Golf. No.
Yeah.
Charity, community charity.
Yes.
We're participating in a community charity event.
Gotcha. We're going to talk more about that here in just a little bit. All right.
So, but I think I think as you're looking at headlines and you're seeing that rates are at 11-month lows, remember that just 2 days ago they were at 10-month lows. So there's not like a new low, but every day that rates move lower is going to be a day where somebody could put a headline out that rates are at 11-month lows at this point.
Yeah, and I think that one of the big underlying lessons here, as always, is if you are rate sensitive, if you are shopping that, if you have engaged with Brian or some other random mortgage lender, you like what I did there, then and you have a target, right? I can afford this when rates hit this. Read the headlines and that's fine, but always dig deeper.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing that fluctuates, and I think we're bordering on a pro tip here. The other thing that fluctuates is how expensive is it to buy a rate down? And we've talked a lot about that, right? Yeah. Whether it's worth it to buy that rate down or not. But you got to track the numbers under the numbers as well, because sometimes, let's say a rate is at 6.75, and this week it cost you, for this price house, it cost you an extra, give me a number here, $2,500 to buy your rate down to 6.5, and that's where it's affordable for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next week it might only be $800.
That's right.
Or $900 or whatever. And so all of a sudden, not only do we have the affordability of the monthly payment, but we have a softening in there, and we have the affordability to get the rate to where you can afford the monthly payment.
That's absolutely right. We saw that big time when rates started to go up in 2022. How just there was so much value in points, and for the 4-year run before that, nobody was buying the rate down.
It didn't make any sense.
If anything, I had a lot of clients who took a lender credit and would say, hey, maybe my rate could be 3.25, but I really don't have enough cash to buy this house right now.
And the market is so hot that none of the sellers are paying closing costs.
So if I need $3,000 in cash that I want to keep, because I want to put a fence on this house when I buy it, well then, hey, instead of 3.25, let's get you a rate of 3.6 and we'll give you $3,000 for it. Like, we could discount points work in both directions.
That's right.
And that's important to remember too. But find the value, because sometimes they'll be like, I'll see big jumps in rates from one rate might cost 0.5% to buy it down to that rate. And then the next eighth lower rate, instead of 0.5%, it might cost a whole 1%. And I'm like, would you really pay 50 basis points of your loan amount to save an eighth on your interest rate? And
no,
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that's just where what we're doing when we put our rate sheet out, and this is just what we do, is that our lock desk gives us the best price for all the different investors for each rate. And so we know if this is the rate we want, this is the best price out there for that rate.
Yeah. And I think the moral of the story, as it frequently is on this show, is get with a professional that's going to walk you through that. It is not just about the rate that's advertised on that website.
Right.
Okay. So when you see rates starting in the blank, there is so much more behind
That's like
that.
a neighborhood that has a sign that says homes starting in the 500s.
Good luck buying one.
Yeah.
At that.
Right.
I mean, it's
and
just not
understand what kind of trim package you're going to get.
That's right.
At that lowest price point.
Doesn't come with a garage door opener.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time there was a home builder around these parts that you had to pay extra for a garage door opener.
I remember hearing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So always ask the questions behind.
And two,
those
if
numbers.
if you're not looking at an online lender's website, but you're actually just researching interest rates, and you see something that says this is the national average, read the fine print on where's that average coming from. Is that an average that was actually locked? Is that an average? Is it a culmination of just straight 30-year conventional mortgages, or is it a blend of FHA and conventional? So how are they getting the number that they're putting up there on their website?
That's great. I want to throw one more thing out there, and this is, can you give me 30 seconds on this little piece of education? What is the difference between an APR and an APY?
Well, an APY is a yield. That's
I'm sorry, APR and
interest rate.
Interest rate, yeah.
Yeah. So you threw me a curveball.
Sorry.
APY is going to be if you have money that you put into the bank. What is the yield you're getting back on it? But the APR is the total finance charges represented as a percentage of the transaction. So that's going to include any origination fees, discount points, mortgage insurance, certain fees, and you can look at the list of all the fees that on a closing disclosure will affect the APR. But it's mostly going to be your lender fees.
So when you're shopping and somebody says, "Hey, I'm gonna get you in this house at 5.75%,"
Yeah.
they're quoting an interest rate,
Right.
But then they turn around and they say that your APR is 6.5%.
Right.
You need to ask some questions.
You need to understand what's driving that. And so when we went to the loan estimate and the closing disclosure model, it became one of the big things that the CFPB wanted people to do was put all of the information into a format that it would make it easy for customers to understand what they're getting and not be misled. And so that APR is a representation of how much this is actually costing compared to what the interest rate is, because I can throw out an interest rate of 4% right now.
Sure.
But the
Cost you $30,000 to get it.
exactly.
Yeah. Which is why points are prepaid interest, going back to our previous. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there.
Interesting conversation. We can pick that up in a couple weeks too.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
This is real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he moved the TV over a little bit.
See it better.
Much better.
Where'd they go?
Were any of those comments about how my team is going to win the 3P on Charity Chop in the Barrel?
I figured that was coming up. Shannon says, goes back to wages. That jump in rate from 4 to 6 gets tough, but when it's also over an additional $150K per home,
Yes.
then the family's budgets are exponentially impacted.
So true, Shannon. Good point.
Now versus then. And then he tagged Bryan Nale. He says, goes to Top Shelf. Answers the question and a bonus question. All right, so yes, this is real, coming in hot. Oh boy, this one's kind of wild.
Oh, man.
I feel like this might be awkward for people that if your camera's on me, Trent, I'm looking like around the camera at the screen with this picture. So like I'm not trying to my eyes aren't trying to bore a hole into that camera there. I'm just trying to see the this is a real picture.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a cryopod of some sort there. Is that what that is?
That's just a
shower with body scrubbers
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff, and a washing machine.
It does look like something Han Solo would step in to get frozen in carbonite.
Yeah.
And the sea floor. I mean, I love the floor.
Yeah, we got a washing machine bathroom combo, and I don't understand the red tile. and the circle oval tiles.
Red is traditionally a gustatory color. It's supposed to make you hungry. So while you're sitting on the wall-mounted commode, and then you jump into the cryopod after you've started your laundry, that whole time that you spend in this bathroom, you get hungry,
and you're just craving sushi.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Wow.
You want sushi?
I was thinking like dive, like the dive flag, but that would be diagonal, not just a horizontal, wrapping of the room. I do love the floor.
This is lovely.
Whoever the artist is that did the floor,
that's talent.
So that's talent.
There's no way that's painting. That's got to be a lithograph or something.
Yeah, it's
right?
Absolutely. But also to that point, like you have to take care of that floor. You have to treat that floor with respect and
dignity.
Yeah, you can't.
Good luck.
You can't walk in there with like the wrong soles on your shoes.
No.
Yeah. I love it, Trent.
This is real.
It's a great find. Great
Yeah,
find.
that's
good.
Somewhere, I don't know. It's probably not Middle Tennessee.
I mean, it could be.
It could be.
Could be a beach house.
Oh, there you go. That checks out. All right, what's next? Pro tip.
I can't take my eyes off of it.
Yeah,
It
pro
burned
tip.
a little bit.
Pro tip is up.
Pro tip. Back to you.
Sorry, my eyes are still hurting just a little bit. They're very red.
Are you hungry?
A little, yeah. Yeah, it's gustatory.
All I'm thinking about is the delicious food that you and Jason are going to cook. Charity chopped in the
charity
burrow.
chop.
Yeah. So thank you for that segue. That was very well done. So the pro tip that we want to talk about today is really more geared towards other professionals here in our community. And when I say professionals, I mean folks that provide services. So that might be mortgage lenders, might be real estate agents, it might be insurance people. There's a ton of them. Basically, if you don't have a brick and mortar that attracts people in for the purpose of shopping, I'm talking to you right now. Is that fair?
Heard.
Yeah. Okay. There you go with your restaurant speak. And here's what I would encourage you to do. Get out and support your community and do something, anything, right? And man, I've talked to several budding business owners over the last couple weeks. I've had several opportunities to I guess call it mentor just a little bit, and they're baffled at how to get started, right? How do I get going with this business? I'm a talented builder. One of the guys is getting his contracting license, or he's got his license. He's getting his business going. He's separated off of underneath someone, and now he's doing his own thing. So how does he get my name out there? Right?
Yeah.
That's the question. And look, man, there's no like magic to that. Buying a billboard, it might help, right? Investing in a website, honestly, it's pure vanity at this point. Yeah. I mean, you kind of need a website to have some legitimacy, but
I'll tell a quick story.
And socials are a total waste of time.
There's a restaurant called Metro Diner. When they moved to town, one of the things that they do is that they have a placemat at each setting, table setting, and they sell advertisements on that placemat.
Old school, baby.
And now I decided to purchase one of those advertisements, and I never was vain enough or naive enough to think that somebody is going to see Bryan Nale, mortgage lender, and say, that's the guy that I want to do my mortgage.
While they're eating their hash browns.
No, that's not. So I was like,
drip chili on your name.
I'm not going to put something on here that's serious. This is going to be a tongue-in-cheek kind of advertisement. I read the room, right? So my thing was, it was like my headshot, company's logo, website and phone number. And then it said, I hear the meatloaf here is great. Another thing that's great is, me being your mortgage lender. So I can't remember exactly what it said. It was something along those lines. And so I didn't get any random business from that, but I did get a text message with two of my friends who I knew through the Chamber of Commerce that were having lunch there together. and they were like, "Hey, we see you." And guess what? Within the next 8 months, I had done a mortgage for both of those people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that ad placement was what it was, but the leverage I got from being involved in the community is what led them to, when they were ready for a refi and a home purchase, I was the guy they thought of, because there's plenty of other mortgage people that are around the Chamber of Commerce, right? But just so find your community and then figure out how to make yourself stand out in that community.
And I would take that even a step further, and that is innovate a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like think about some things that some needs that are out there that dovetail with what you do already. You know, if you're a real estate agent, have you ever participated in a habitat build?
Yeah.
Why not?
Right.
Why haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not hard to do. It's not hard to get signed up for.
Right.
They always need some help, right? Are you, are you worried that you haven't met enough people? Why haven't you joined the Chamber of Commerce? Why haven't you joined a networking group of some sort? Why haven't you joined a running group? Or, I mean, like, there's a million ways to go out there.
I tell loan officers on our team, what do? You play chess? Find a chess club. You like to go on hikes? Find an outdoor club. And it can be one that meets up in person. It can be a social media thing. Like the Borough Bourbon Club is a great example. There's so many people in that. So just get active, go to their events. Like if it's a social media driven organization, a lot of them will still have in-person meetups. Go to those things.
Yeah.
Be there, be present. Don't come in handshaking everyone you see and saying,
Try to build a relationship.
yeah, come at it from a relationship standpoint.
Don't sell yourself.
What you do will eventually come up.
That's right.
You don't need to broadcast it. It will come up in conversation.
That's right. And I made a statement just a minute ago, and I want to clarify. I said social media is a waste of time. Here's what I mean by that, okay? If your plan, I'm looking at you right now, if your plan is to build your business through social media posts, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
You just are. In Murfreesboro, Tennessee, right, or in any town, USA, if your plan is to build your business solely through social media posts, you're going to fail.
Right.
It's too saturated. It's too covered up. If your plan was to build your business through your ad at Metro Diner, you are going to fail.
Right.
Right. Now, should you do social media? I mean, you kind of have to.
You got
right?
to.
Like
You
it's
gotta
just
be,
necessary.
You got to be
evil.
present out there.
Sure, but that is not a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so that should accompany some of your other plans, and it should definitely be something where you magnify the effort that you put into some of your other plans.
Right.
But it should never be your plan.
I felt for a while I found myself falling victim to the mindset of, oh, they're closing. Why'd they buy a house and I didn't even know they were shopping, and I'd be mad at them. Why didn't they check me? I'm their friend. Why didn't they give me a chance for their business? And I realized two things. One, they may not have wanted me to know their personal business. And so I can't take that personally. And two, if that wasn't the obstacle, then shame on me for not being more present with them.
What have you invested in them?
More intentional with my network so that they would remember that I do more. So I can't be mad at the person who bought a house and didn't use me if because they may not have wanted me to know their business. And B, I didn't do a good enough job of staying visible and present and in front of them when that need came up.
And you don't know what their relationship is with the other person.
No, you don't.
So, I mean,
that's true too. That's the third. That's the third factor.
Yeah, you don't know. All right. So all of that said, we've got something coming up that I wanted to talk about. I've already thrown my first shade video out there, and then I did a little research on one of the words that I used, and it might have been offensive. So if I offended you, John, I'm not sorry. But anyway, so we've got Charity Chopped in the Borough. Myself and Jason Matheson, the owner of Primrose Table, which still happens to be my favorite restaurant.
I had dinner there 2 weeks ago. It was great.
It might just be my favorite restaurant,
And
maybe ever.
well, and actually, I think it was last week. Erica and I were at a social event, and when it ended, they'd had heavy odors and stuff. But when it ended, we were like, we want to go get a drink and a couple appetizers. So we went over to Primrose, just sat at the bar.
It's awesome.
Cornbread and panzanella.
Oh, that's the best salad,
So
dude.
good.
And look, I love a lot of other restaurants around town. We have some really good restaurants, but Primrose just does it right.
Yeah.
And they just do it right. And a big chunk of that, like the biggest chunk of that, is the creative but yet very approachable dishes that Jason Matheson puts together.
Right.
I joke all the time. He usually only has one ingredient that I have to look up at the table in everything, not 20.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, he and I have teamed up. This will be our third year together. They've made us defend our crown. This will be the second time. So we won it big time 2 years ago. We won it again last year. And we have to do it again this year to get the three-peat. So, Shannon, I'm expecting at least a ring or something when we bring home the three-peat, not just a plaque, you know. And also, I definitely think that Jason should move to judging after that. I'm probably not qualified to judge, although I'd love to try. It'd be fun.
I think if you go, three-peat, does Jason move to judging for a year, or maybe just try a different endeavor for a year, maybe a different sport, if you will, and then come back and go for a second three-peat?
I mean, here's
the Jordan way.
How do you not say he's the GOAT if he won 3 in a row?
I mean, I just described Michael Jordan's career.
Oh, I know you did.
Okay.
I get it.
For anyone who didn't pick up on that.
I mean, he is the Michael Jordan of Murfreesboro culinary scene for sure.
Another
No
thing that you've got that's going on.
I'm his Scottie Pippen.
There's another community thing that you do, and that's the community heroes and the teachers of the month. So talk about that for just a minute.
Yeah. So this is year 5 or 6 even that we've been doing this, and so every month we honor a teacher of the month. It has to be somebody in Rutherford County. Private schools are fine. We've had a couple of MTSU professors, preschools, whatever. But somebody that's educating children or youth or adults, I guess, here in Rutherford County. And we've got 19 businesses that participate in this with us. So it's a pretty nice bucket that they get full of all kinds of stuff, gift cards,
and it's not
supplies.
It's not just basic swag, like just like tchotchkes and stuff.
No.
You've cultivated a very
it's a nice bucket.
Of,
It's probably $350 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
There's some homemade wine in it. There's some homemade cookies. Like it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice bucket. And so once a month we hand those out. Well, here's the thing. Here in the last couple months, we have just hit a drought of people nominating. And I don't understand it, but we have. So we need some nominations. Trent, if you go to the J. Harmon Home Team website, there is a link. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Yep. There's a link where you can do a nomination. And typically we have a decent number of teacher nominations. And what we're really looking for is that teacher that has gone above and beyond, that teacher that has really invested maybe in your kid, that's really invested in the school's community, in the community's community, whatever it happens to be. But they've really gone that extra mile because, look, there's some fantastic teachers in Rutherford County. I'm a product of Rutherford County, and I did okay. So there's some really good teachers here, but we're looking for those exceptional ones, right? Yeah. We're looking for those ones that do a little more.
And they are out there.
They're all over the place. So nominate them. You can stay anonymous. Tell us the story. Give us a reason, and we will honor those teachers. The second award, this is the one that makes everybody uncomfortable, and we've always had trouble getting people to come forward with this one, and that is a hero of the month. And what I think people think is that this is somebody that has done some individually super heroic deed.
Right.
And yes, that absolutely counts. So if you know of that, that's a nomination, right? That's great. But it doesn't have to be them, right? Sometimes the heroism comes in the form of just doing more consistently.
Yeah.
Right? Being in an extraordinary circumstance and either rising above it or working through it or whatever.
Fires me up, man.
Well, we had a lady, one of my favorite heroes of the month that we ever had. She raised her kids. Kids went out and did what Kids sometimes do. And she found herself in the span of a month, and her parents also got sick. So in the span of about a month, maybe 2 months, all of a sudden she was taking care of her aged parents in her home and her grandkids at the same time. So just like that. And she was still had a regular job. She was still active in her church, still a good, like a white, like all of these things. And it just kind of happened all at one time. And she just embraced it and moved forward. And her grandkids were doing, and I believe one of her grandkids has special needs as well. But they put together these blessing boxes for homeless people. She was doing, she wasn't just making it, right? She was thriving, taking care of. Yeah. That's a hero, y'all.
Yeah.
That's a hero.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What a story.
So we need some nominations. Trent's put the link in the comments. We're a little bit behind in handing those out, and our obligation, our commitment to our collaborators on this is that we would have one of each a month. And so we got a little catching up to do.
Let's get some nominations in and get some baskets out, buckets out.
Let's do it.
Good stuff.
Cool.
What else we got?
Good stuff, man.
That was definitely a shiny penny. So.
Oh yeah, the shiny penny.
Yeah,
that was it.
Shiny penny, well done.
Hey, one other quick shiny penny.
Oh,
do we
yeah.
have time?
Yeah, shiny penny.
Go to Frontier Airlines.
Oh yeah.
All right, and I don't know if this is something you want to do or not. And it's Frontier. I get it, sure. But right now, for $299, and I have no obligation. I have nothing for Frontier.
This is a non-sponsor comment.
Not at all.
Non-sponsor.
But go to their
penny.
website for $299 right now. You can get unlimited flights from now until May of 2027, anywhere that they fly. Yes, there's blackout dates. Yes, there's some,
it's Frontier. You have to pay for check bags.
You got all of that stuff. But and you can't book it in advance. Like it's a last minute deal.
Yeah, it's like one of these. Hey, let's go somewhere tomorrow.
But dude, for $299 now, you could fly 50 times, 60 times.
Yeah.
Between now and May of 2027.
Yeah.
So go do it.
Go do it.
Get out. Get some perspective.
See the country. See the world.
Yeah.
Where does Frontier fly?
Puerto Rico, Costa Rica,
there you go.
Dominican Republic, Mexico,
Yeah.
all over the U.S.,
Yeah.
of course.
There you go.
That's some genius marketing.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
What if it bankrupts him?
But, so it's like a gym membership, though.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Right? Really? How much would you use that?
Well, that's
4 times?
That's my hang up with it. Okay, so I spend the $299 for me. I spend the $299 for Erica. I spend the $299 for my 2 kids. All right, I'm now
so you're $1,200
into this.
Sure.
How many flights and trips are we going to take where we're like, let's go somewhere more? Because that's the thing is that for domestic flights, you can only book the flight one day in advance.
Well, you get discounts if you book them early.
Okay.
So you pay a little more, but
yeah. So, but to get the 1 cent flight, then we have to basically block out a week, right? And say that we're going to go on vacation. We don't know where we're going to go. And we're a little bit more planners than that.
I am not. So that sings to my heart right there.
This is pretty fun.
Yeah.
This is pretty fun.
But that's what I'm saying. So really they're counting on people using it 2, 3, maybe 4 times. You'll have your outlier that uses it once a week.
And what it's going to do is it's going to put seats on a plane that was otherwise empty, because it's only going to be like you're going to that they're going to take every opportunity up until the day before to fill that plane, and if it's not full, then that's where the people that have this
you're
pass
essentially flying standby. Is what it amounts to.
And that's
exactly
right. Yeah.
So, and here's the thing, like for me, I might be like, hey, let's fly to whatever, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we get there and that plane's full. Oh, okay, let's go to Costa Rica instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. Or let's go to, Albuquerque or whatever, right? Change of plans.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good show. Good show, guys. I think we did it. Any
Cheers.
last words?
Oh, tomorrow night, big party here at Cedar Glade.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrate the classics.
Speaking of community.
Yep. Fundraiser for Alzheimer's Tennessee. And we've got Vagabond Train playing out in the parking lot. We've got charcuterie from... what is it? Social Circle. We've got a classic car cruise in. It's gonna be a blast.
Cool.
Weather's
Weather's gonna be perfect. So get out here.
Awesome. Good stuff. We'll see y'all on the next one. Not next week, but the next week.
That's right.
All right.
I think we're going to do it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of This Week in Real Estate with Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale, your go-to resource for all things real estate in Middle Tennessee. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. We will see y'all on the next one.
Now for the nitty-gritty. Primis Mortgage Company is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC. Primis Mortgage NMLS number 1894879, BK number 1042893, ML number 1894879. As always, all loans are subject to credit approval and product guidelines. Equal housing lender.